I'm a second-year mechanical engineer at the University of Guelph. I'm with iMatter to inspire you to pursue engineering. So mechanical engineering is a study of anything that moves. That can go anything from turning gears all the way to a full-on car engine. The reason I chose mechanical engineering as a career path is because I've loved mechanical engineering from basically the day I was born. I've always been good at math and sciences, and I've loved cars, and that's basically what I want to pursue with mechanical engineering. So the main thing you should look for when applying is you should look for a university that has a co-op system in it. Co-op is basically the fact that you can work during your university experience, and that allows you to gain work experience, connections, and it allows you to pay off your university debts as you go through and earn your degree. Another thing you should look for is whether you feel comfortable in the university. It should be right for you. You should take a tour around the university and just gaining a feel for the environment it has, because everyone has a different environment they like. Some people like a very studious university, and some people like a very party-like university, right? So it just depends on how you feel in it and whether you fit it. So for someone that is part of that is in Canada already, and if they want to study in a university that's in Canada, it's going to cost around $14,000 a year to study engineering. But for someone that is international, if they're coming in, it's going to average around $28,000. So they do have financial aid services. At the beginning though, you must have at least a down payment of about 30%, I believe, and then for the rest of the months you can discuss with the university and your financial aid supervisor on how much you can pay each month to pay off your debts. So in order to apply for engineering, you must have all your high school credits done. So you must have your high school diploma, but also on top of that you must have prerequisites. If you're studying in Canada, you must have English, which is a must, and you must have advanced functions, calculus, chemistry, physics, and that's the main prerequisites done. If you want biology, you can have that, but it's not necessarily needed for mechanical. It depends on what field you want to go into that you might need biology. So yeah. So from high school, in fact, you should be doing this from elementary. You should be very strong in maths and sciences. If you're not strong in this, engineering is not the path for you to pursue. But if you are, then you should continue focusing on that, and mainly you should focus on functions, calculus, physics, and chemistry. Those are the main four things that you should really focus on when you're applying for engineering. English you must know in Canada, but that can obviously change depending on the country you want to go into, right? But those four, the functions, calculus, chemistry, and physics, you must be very strong in, especially physics. There's a lot of physics when it comes to engineering. So your first year in engineering, it's going to be very general. Everyone's going to be all together, and you're going to be doing basically the same thing as everyone else is. You might have some parts where you're going to switch off. That's natural because you're trying to do different branches, right? But in second year is when everything really starts to branch off. And then after that, when you go third and fourth year, you're basically all on your own, and everyone is doing their own specialty. So co-op is the process in which you can work in your chosen career path. So if I were to do mechanical engineering, with co-op I would be able to work at a mechanical engineering facility and get work experience and make connections, and that allows for a very easy process in order for you to start working right after you're done getting your degree. So co-op is the process in which you can work during your university time frame. So for an international student to join co-op, they must get a work permit and a study permit. They need a study permit to actually study in Canada, and then they need the work permit in order to work during co-op and during their time here. For them to get into co-op, they must have a pretty high average. I had an 86 that allowed me to get co-op in Guelph, And then on top of that, to maintain co-op, you must maintain over 70 average in my school. It could be different in other schools. It all depends. But in my university, we had maintained a 70 average. The moment you drop under that, you lose your co-op in your overall. So you can have some 60s, it doesn't really matter. As long as your overall is over 70, you're gonna maintain your co-op. Also, if you're working in co-op, and if you are a Canadian citizen, then you don't need to worry about having a work permit or anything, and you're legally allowed to work here. But if you are an international student, if you want to apply for co-op as well, you must have a work permit and study permit. If you don't want to do co-op and you don't want to work in the country, all you need is a study permit. So mechanical engineering is as hard as it sounds, as the hardest aspect of it is the application aspect. Whatever you learn in school, you must be able to apply that to the real world. That is the hardest part. That transfer between everything, you're gonna have constant failure, you're gonna have constant retries, and you're gonna be up long nights. So a recent project that I've done is called Teddy Bear Wheelchair Project. It is a project that we had created a small little miniature robotic car, and it would basically go over an obstacle course and then it had to come back. So there'll be bumps on the ground, and then you had to go all the way to the end and come back in the fastest time would get the best score, right? And then a second part of it was you would have to go a certain distance, about halfway, and there'll be a big bullseye target, and then it would have a catapult, and it had to shoot a ping pong ball and try to hit the dead center, and then it would come back as well. And it had a teddy bear on it, so the teddy bear cannot fall off either. And this was a very complicated project, as we started with just metal pieces, and you had to somehow create a car out of it and put everything in and include motors and everything, and we had a whole motherboard and everything and a breadboard in order to connect all the wiring and make sure that everything runs together and runs automatically. You do not touch it the moment we turn it on. So you can have a balance, it's just very difficult, as engineering does take up most of your time during the university time period. But personally, I was able to have a very big balance. I have a very crazy social life, and I do go party a lot. But on top of that, I do work hard and stay on top of my stuff. And I started a club at the university. I started the UMG Dance Club. I'm the president, and this allows me to basically let off all my stress. So my advice is for you to actually find something that allows you to lay off stress, as engineering does bring a lot of stress to your life. So find something that allows you to cool off and relax and chill. So 3 priorities that you should be really focusing on during university time is, first of all, it should be your grades. You must keep your grades up, especially in engineering, because you want to be at the very top. You want to be separated from the rest of them, right? And you don't want to fail your courses. If you fail, it's going to be very hard for you to keep up and pursue your full career, okay? The second thing, you should be making connections. You should be making connections with just about everyone you meet, and also your professors. They will be helping you a lot during your career. And you want to make really good friends with them. It'll make your life a lot easier. It'll make them notice you, and also allow them to be able to slightly help you in certain projects. You give you extensions on your assignments, or they'll take in assignments themselves if you forgot to hand it in or whatever, right? And then the third thing, it should be your own mental state. You have to take care of yourself during engineering, and it's a very stressful time. You have to be able to cool yourself down and keep strong in your mind. If you're weak in your mind, it's going to really tear you down, especially with all the stress that engineering is going to put onto you. So the way I keep my mental state strong is by having my own dance club. So me being the president and everything, it allows me to do something that I truly love and I truly enjoy spending time doing. It really clears my mentality, and it keeps me calm and relaxed and allows me to focus better in my studies. But for you, there are hundreds of clubs in the school and that you can join, whether it's going to be, you can join the soccer team, football team, rugby team, or you can do like something like art. It's all up to you, right? And the university provides all this. In Guelph, we even have we have a program where they have dogs come out, and there's like a dog room, and you can go there and chill with dogs and relieve stress. And also on top of that, you can, if you are really, if your mental state is really weak and you really need something to help you during your classes, you are actually allowed to apply for a dog. And you can have a dog which has like it has a vest on it, and you are allowed to take the dog around into class and everything to keep you company and keep you calm during your classes and no matter where you go on campus. University is not as scary and as unforgiving as it seems. You might think that because you're in engineering that you're going to be constantly studying and working and just constantly stressed out. That is not the case. You have a lot of time to party, and you do have time to actually make time for yourself and have fun. It's just a matter of how you organize it, right? Personally, I have been partying every single weekend that I was in university. I've been always doing something, always having fun, just to keep me calm and relaxed. I've been really taking it really chill. On top of that, I've been keeping my grades up. I maintain my co-op and then some. So you must find some time to do this for yourself, as university is the best time of your life. You do not want to miss out on it. You miss out on it, you're really going to regret not going to university and also not having the fun you could have had in university. It's all just about partying.